can start. Hi everyone, I'm your host Esther Mala, welcoming you to another episode on Successful Living Talk Show is powered by International Internship University, IIU. IIU is a leading virtual education system and global brand and trusted name for quality training programs, spreading its wings in 195 countries and 6 continents under the strong leadership of its visionary founder, Mr. Piyush Pandit sir. Today, again, I have another prominent, eminent, amazing, stunning guest for you all. Welcome, dear audience. Welcome, Kohila. Kohila.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Okay, Kohila, it's great honor to introduce you to our talk show, dear. Kohila Sivas is from North Vancouver, Canada. She is an author, educator, a math coach, learning success coach, and founder at Success Code. Kohila has achieved tremendous success in her related field, and her work has been recognized with numerous awards and accolades which she has received. I will share with you shortly. She is an inspirational to many women and parents around the globe. Her sharing will definitely inspire many of you, dear audience. Please join me to welcome Kohila Sivas to this Successful Living Talk Show. Welcome, Kohila.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, can you please briefly introduce what are you doing, please?
Currently, I train teachers with my methodology that I have developed over 24 years working one-on-one with students. So I used to work in the school system as a teacher. That's how I started off. But I found that I wasn't being as, I wasn't delivering what the student needed in this classroom or the school system. So I went on my own and I started doing a private coaching practice. And what I learned over the 24 years is that students need more than help with their homework. They need more. So that's what learning success coaching is all about.
Oh, okay. So you have started this. Sorry, I think you have started this learning center. You started as math coach.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what?
Actually, I began as a math teacher.
Yeah.
When I graduated, I was a math teacher. Then I went into working in the school system. I wasn't getting what I wanted, the results I wanted with all my students. So then I started my private practice, and that's how I grew into what I have now. Yeah.
So you are teaching. Do you teach school syllabus when you started on your own, or you're following certain methodology which they teach maths? Train students to learn maths faster. Like in Malaysia, we have this. We call it Kumon. Is how you train. Do you have it there in Canada as well?
Yes, Kumon is one of the ways kids learn. It's around the world, but I also, as a math coach myself, I've developed my own methodology, which is superior to Kumon.
Okay, that is very nice to hear. Oh, that's wonderful. Then you are a math genius. What do you call your method?
Well, I have two ways. One is the math coach methodology, which is very specifically to learning math.
Yes.
And then overall learning, I have another methodology, which is the meta learning de-stress method, teaching students how to learn, not what to learn, but how to learn.
Exactly. because I myself is educated, and I'm not an expert like you, but I love maths. You know, if the children, they don't know maths, they hate maths, I can make them love maths. So I can understand what you're trying to say. It's your passion, right? It's your passion. No, if as an educator, no matter whatever you teach, if you don't have, you're not passionate about it, you can't go far and you can't teach anybody. Yeah,
No,
so I'm very
absolutely.
sure you're so passionate about this teaching maths, and that is the reason you are in this industry as an educator for so many years. How many years was that?
It's almost 25 years I've been doing this.
Wow, wow. I
I
think,
started very long.
yeah, but if, say, in case others want to learn, say some school leavers or teachers who want to take up maths teaching, do you coach them? Do you have a package for to train teachers and all?
Yeah, that's what I've been doing since last year. That's what the brand of learning success coaching is all about, is where I'm training the teachers how to use my methodology and how to go from being a teacher to a learning success coach.
Fantastic, fantastic. Yeah. So, dear audience, now you know we are not here with an ordinary person. My guest is an expert. It's an
Thank
expert. Yeah.
Thank you.
So she's a great icon. So after the show, you can reach her on her Facebook Messenger if you should require any assistance. What is your Facebook ID, Kohila?
Just Kohila Sivas. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. Everywhere. Yeah. And my
Okay, okay.
websites. You can reach me on my website, mathcoach.com or learningsuccessacademy.com.
Great, great, great. So Kohila's name can be spelled as Kohila, Kohila.
Mhm.
Space Sivas, Sivas, Sivas. Kohila Sivas is the ID for Facebook. From there, you can reach her all her social media. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for your wonderful answer, Kohila. Yes.
Thank you.
Next, what for you? What is how do you define success?
Yeah. It's an interesting word, right? It's
Yes,
a very interesting word.
everybody's
So
favorite word.
well, it depends on the person you're asking, right? Like, am I successful now from where I was before? Yes. Am I successful? Am I done being successful? No. You know, it's a measure of where you were before to where you are now and where you want to go.
Yes,
And some people measure success with how much money I have,
yes,
right? Some people measure success with how much time I have,
yes,
you know, and some people can measure with both, because both time and money are important to life. You
mm,
can't have one without the other. They work together, right? So for me, as a teacher, when I was a teacher, I would say I wasn't successful, because when I left home at the end of teaching, I knew that I was failing more than half of my students, because I couldn't attend to all of them. They were all different, and we were trying to deliver one model to them.
wow,
So for me, I was unsuccessful, right? But now, as a learning success coach, I work very closely with my students. Everybody that I work with, they achieve success in whatever they want to achieve success in. So that gives me the success. So whenever you're doing something, what is the ripple effect you're creating? And that produces the success for me. So now I win in money, I win in time, I win in success with my students. So that's what success for me is. Now I'm sharing that success with other teachers who are struggling the same way I did. So that's kind of the success that I would define success as. How much ripple effect are you creating with your own success? Yeah.
Amazing, amazing. From your answer, I know whether how serious you are in your profession. Yeah, and how passionate you are in your profession. Otherwise, you cannot give me such answer. Because
Thank you.
I myself, I'm a businesswoman for so many years. I meet different type of people, and I'm also an educator since right. If you ask me, very early I started. So I'm a seasoned educator, seasoned educator, in a sense that maybe I don't have a lot of knowledge about many things, but I know how the feelings, the emotion of an educator, the heart of an educator. Because educators, I can say, God created special beings. Because all this while I see educators are generous. Otherwise, you cannot be in that industry for a long time. You will leave. If you come in just for money, if you just come for name and fame, that's it. Because you will never see the results. Yeah. Am I right, Kohila?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
You must love to see success in others, which is our students.
Yes. Thank you. Then I think we should share your screen so that we can talk more about the successful living. Yeah, I'll share the screen.
Thank you.
Okay. If you see here, I picked up from your Facebook. Sorry, because it's for you, so I picked up from your Facebook,
No
and
problem.
I was really attracted to this posting.
Uh-huh.
I find that this is something interesting.
Mm.
Yeah. So
Yes.
you can wait, let me open up the screen and
Math anxiety is real, right? It stems from childhood, how we were first introduced to math.
yes.
It doesn't just show up later. It actually starts with, for me, like, for many students, especially in Malaysia and Indian culture too, right? We're
Yes.
always parents demand answer from you. Like my dad used to demand, what's 8 times 8 randomly? And when I'm
Yes.
eating, and I'm like, what? I thought I was eating. Why are you asking me math? So, those kind of memories stays with you. And then you become you think, I don't like math because you have bad experience with it from the beginning, right? So for me, when I meet a lot of the students, this math anxiety is real, and it can show up anytime, and it can also show up because they didn't have good teachers as well in the early stages. That's why the early stages of math is so critical for a student to learn the subject. So this is a real thing that I work with many of the students. When I meet them, I see them as frozen. Their mind is frozen, their hands are frozen, they can't take the next step, they don't know where to start. And then when it gets complicated, math becomes a foreign language, right?
Yes.
For many students. Yeah. So this is what I've been working over the 24 years with students is, how to recognize this, and where does this fear stem from? Why did I start feeling this anxiety? So going back to the root cause of that anxiety, and making a better relationship with math, and treating math as a language. Like if you speak Malay, right?
Yes.
Maybe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very
If
good.
you
You know
start speaking, yeah, if you start speaking to me in Malay, I wouldn't know what to do, right?
Yes.
So math is like that. Every time we add a new concept into math, it gets complicated and complicated. And it's almost like you're learning a foreign language, and the students are like, I don't understand what's going on. And they lose interest, they panic, they shut down, end up frozen.
Yes. That is the reason a lot of them having phobia. Maths,
Yeah.
everybody think maths is a tough subject.
Yes.
But I don't know whether you agree with me. If you ask me, that is the most easiest subject of all. Do you agree, Kohila? If I
I
say maths is the
absolutely
most
agree.
easiest. Yeah?
Yes, because there's no subjective to it, right? There's an answer. You can
Yes,
prove it. You
yes,
can get to the answer in multiple ways, but you can have an answer at the end. And you should all, it doesn't matter where it come from. If you're in Malaysia, you should get the same answer. If I'm in Canada, I should get the same answer. So it's
yes,
powerful. It's
yes,
powerful, right?
yes.
Yes.
Yes, exactly, exactly. Because you see, a lot of subjects like mugging subjects, the children have to study and remember, make notes too much. But maths, you just need to know the technique and the formula. Even for the high school, even high school, when you teach maths, you can use one or two formulas and arrive at many other formulas if you know how to do it. So the most important is you must have a good teacher. Yeah, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Foundation. Yeah.
foundation.
Early foundation has to be laid. It's like building a house on a weak foundation. You can't add more structure to it. You can't make it fancy. If the foundation is weak, the rest of the life that building is going to be weak, right? So it's the same way for students. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you see here, it's written here what a student think when with anxiety looks like. So here you mentioned here, learn maths through avoidance, lack of concentration. Can you just tell us something about all this, using all these points, whichever you think is crucial?
Yeah, the most important thing that if you have a child, if you're a parent watching this, if your child hates math time or when the math homeworks comes out, there's more to that story, right? We have to dig deeper. We can't just keep telling them study more, do more. They don't already like it. So why they don't like it is the problem. Is the why you have to go to the reason why are they acting that way. So procrastination. Some students will put away the work for math until the last second that it's due, and they cram it at the end, and it makes it even worse. The anxiety goes up even more when you leave something you don't know to the last minute, right? It doesn't help the anxiety. It's going to
Yes.
rise the anxiety. Yeah. And I didn't, and just to be clear, I was actually not good at math when I was young. I was not an expert. So my passion comes from knowing that I was that child who used to daydream in my class. I used to pretend I was doing math in my class because I never understood math.
Okay.
You see, so only after spending the time with the math, learning the foundations, and getting a great teacher in some of my classes is when I started falling in love with math and
Yes.
started understanding math.
Yes. That's the
Yes.
word. Falling in love with maths.
Yes.
Same
Yeah.
story here. I used to be not good at maths, always fail my maths in class. So you see, whatever you say, I know it's the real experience of an expert.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And when you say expert, that's why I always smile. I'm not an expert. I proved to myself that math can beat me. I must learn. I applied. I stayed with my problems to figure it out. There's a famous quote by Albert Einstein that says, I'm not so smart. I just stay with my problems longer. So in math, sometimes the answer is within the problem. You have to stay with it to figure it out. And that's a training you're doing for your mind. And that can translate into other problems in life. You can't run away from other problems. You got to figure it out. So some people ask me, why do we learn calculus? Like, I'm never going to use it. I'm not going to become an engineer. Why am I forced to learn math that I'm never going to use? The answer is you are never going to use it if you're not going into a professions that's going to require it, right? And now with AI and all the technology, you might not even do it by hand anymore. You'll
yes,
get machines to do it. But why do we still learn it though? Because we have to train our brain to stay with problems that are hard.
exactly. You're right.
We have to figure it out.
Yes.
That's a training for your neurons in your brain. It has to form the pathways for you to stay with the problem, feel the uncomfortable feeling of, I don't know this. But then you go through a phase of, okay, let me figure it out. Let's see what I need. What formulas do I need? What information am I missing? And then you solve it, and then you feel so proud. I figured it out. And that translates into other problems, life problems, right? Later on, if you have a problem with your partner or your parent or your coworker, you know now how to deal with the problem. You can stay with it, you can figure it out, and you can have a solution.
Exactly. I think we all need to do maths. We should not question,
Yeah.
the syllabus and all that, because the experts know what is good for the students, the experts. Yeah. So, as what mentioned by Kohila, is very true. You need maths to keep your brain working, developing, problem solving, skills. We are developing skills from primary itself. Even, of course, in preschool, we have already started. So maths is an important subject. You got to fall in love with it. How do you fall in love with it? You must have a good teacher, of course, a guide to teach you in an easy way, that to show you, to give you the experience that maths is easy. It's not all tough. This is the technique. So if you get this, so you, rather than worrying about, I'm not good in maths, look for a good teacher, an experienced teacher, an expert like Kohila. You know, they are in business so many years as an educators. They know what they're doing. Get the help from experts and learn. So once you start mastering it, of course, maths, you need to do a lot of practice. Am I right, Kohila? Maths.
Yes, you do, but practice with purpose. I call it, I don't like putting my students through practice. That's the old way.
Yeah.
It's probably the Kumon way of doing it. My way of doing it, or the way that I developed over the years, with the speed of internet and how kids learn these days, that no one wants to sit and do 4 hours of math.
Yes.
I show them how to do it in 30 minutes, what somebody can do it in 4 hours, so I cut down the time for students. So speed, so I call it practice with purpose.
Amazing, amazing. This is what we need now. Yeah, you are right. You know, I used to spend so many hours practicing, maths before I became expert. And but do you think after every topic, you got to do some exercise, like with purpose, practice with purpose, then you go every topic at gradually, then you don't have to worry when the examinations arrive, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yes,
you'll be more than prepared.
Yes, most importantly, are you able to explain or teach that to someone else? Do you know enough to teach it to someone else? That's the true testing. It's not even the testing on a paper.
Yes.
Can you teach it to me? I'll be your student. Teach back to me is one of my methods that I teach with my students. Teach me, and then they feel so proud that they were able to teach it to me because I taught them first. Now they're teaching it back to me, right? So yeah, that's the true measure of success.
Brilliant, brilliant. Really, this is the success. Yeah, because you wouldn't know how much the student could grasp from your teaching and all that. So when you tell them, okay, now it's your turn to teach me. So you're asking them to prove that they really understand, they really know what they're doing. Exactly. Practice with purpose. I learned something new today.
Yes.
Practice.
I want to add one more to what you said. Good teacher is important, but most important is the primary years the infant years that the child spends with the family. So I find, I'm Sri Lankan originally, right? I moved here to Canada when I was 6. So culturally, I know some of the Indian family, Indians and Malaysians, our families are very strict with our education, with our students, our children, right?
Yes.
So during that time, I think few things that happen is comparison. When your kids are young, we should never compare them to anyone, not to ourselves, not to their friends, not to your cousins or anyone else, because we learn that I'm not good enough because the comparison is there, right? So for me, I grew up with a lot of comparison. That took a lot on me to get rid of all of those feelings that was put. So those early years at home, even before a teacher enters, if parents can make math fun, numbers in a fun atmosphere, like I don't recommend using worksheets when they're so young, but playing games, talking about numbers. You go for a walk and you start counting the rocks. You're teaching them how to count. Who cares? It's not on a paper. You pick up leaves and you count anything you want, but more in the environment, and introducing them to that format is way better than sitting them down and sending them to Kumon to do workbooks after workbooks. Because then you tell this child when they're young, math is going to be this much practice. You got to put so much time into it, right? So they get different ideas. So making it fun and enjoyable from a young age, and then a good teacher, like you said, is beautiful relationship for math beginning for a student, when they start.
Right, I do agree with you. Exactly. Play and learn. Yeah,
Yes.
it's a totally different now. Now time has changed. Most parents are aware of techniques, education methods, and all that. So I think parents should flow with the technology and methodology and everything now. Yeah. Okay. Let's go to let's look at the. Wait, I'll go back to the first slide of yours. Okay, here. Dear audience, this is a few of the slides about Kohila Sivas, what she's doing, some of her success, some stories here. So let's hear from Kohila what it's all about. Kohila, this logo here, success code, is your company logo?
Yeah, I started off with math codes. That's my brand when I started off. That's then I ventured into offering coaching for all subjects. So now we don't just offer for math. We offer for every subject. So that's where the Learning Success Coach came in, and the Learning Success Academy. Now, since last March of 2022, I started sharing my methodology with other teachers and educators. So currently we have over 80 coaches in that program who are getting certified under my methodology to become learning success coaches. So these are passionate educators, passionate teachers. 90% of them are from the US, but they're leaving the system because they're not happy in the system. They don't find success with their students, and they feel empty when they go home. As you said before, teachers come to this profession because they are passionate. They need to deliver results to their students. For those of us who can't, it's just a little paycheck with empty heart. So these are our coaches. What you see over here is they're doing just that. They're leaving the system so they can start their own business as learning success coaches, and then teach kids how to learn, not what to learn. Yeah.
Okay. Let's go to the next. You can see here. Yeah.
Yeah, these are some of my achievements.
Yeah.
Last 2022 was a big year for me. As I said, I launched my program to train the teachers. Then I was invited to talk on Mind Valley, one of the event in Dubai. And then by surprise, I got, this award for outstanding leadership award for, my contribution to education and learning. And our organization got an award in Las Vegas. So those are some of the achievements last year. Yes.
Fantastic. Really brilliant. Okay, that's all for this slide. We go to the next. Yeah, this looks like a love letter.
Yeah.
Can you share with me? Yeah, it is a love letter. If the letter is coming from parents or students to
this
the
is
teacher,
my student.
it is a love story, love letter. Yes.
Yeah, this is my love letter from my student. I always say my biggest paycheck that I ever receive is these kind of cards or letters that I receive from my students, because like this Carly said, right? it's not about the math that what I taught her that is going to stick with her for the rest of the life. Is that she can conquer anything in her life if she put her mind to it. So, she has a new definition of what success is and what failure looks like and what she can change in her life, right? So that's why I love math, because math empowers a student. When they can do it, they really feel confident and they feel this inner confidence from them. And as she said, she can conquer anything in her life, after this success in math.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. Yes, it is a testimony. Yeah, testimony.
Mhm.
I'm very sure you have many, but we can't post everything. This one is good enough.
Yeah, I love her words, and she made a handmade card for me. So, and she also bought me some gel pens, which I love.
Would you believe, Kohila, if I say I still keeping many of my students' gifts?
Yeah.
Of course, I cannot keep all, but I still, if you come to my house, we see the little tiny things given by my students, and some cards, gifts. All these are so precious. You see?
Yes. Yes.
So I can appreciate it. I can really, looking at this, you can fall in love again and again. Right?
Yep. And if you want to define success, you look at what your gifts and cards, and you'll know what success is.
Yes, yes. Okay, now let's come to the most interesting part. I think this is the latest. Is this the first book you have written and published, or you have
No,
other?
this is my second book, solo book. I have other collaboration books I have wrote before, about 4 or 5 of them, I think. This is my second book, the solo book, and this is for teachers who are looking to exit the classroom. As I said, that's my new project right now. So it was launched 2 weeks ago, and it was #1 bestseller internationally. Again, it's for teachers, it's not for parents. I have another book coming out for parents in September this year, but this was delivered for teachers. Yeah.
Truly inspiring. So what is the price like?
For the book?
Yes, in Canada.
Oh, on Kindle version, you can get it for, I think, $1.99 US right now.
Okay.
And yeah, it's on Amazon. You can check it out. It's the name. If you're a teacher, you're looking to transition or take your skill set to another level, and interested in becoming a learning success coach, I share a lot in this book about how my journey started, how I was able to create the methodology, and how I got where I am in business with this. So there's a lot of information I share in this book. Yes.
Truly inspiring.
Thank you.
Really inspiring. I'm inspired.
Thank you.
Wow.
I'm honored to be here. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for your presence. Really, not only I am blessed, I think most of our audience are blessed. So please,
I am blessed.
reach out.
Thank you.
Yeah, please reach out to Kohila on her messenger, on her Facebook, Kohila Sivas. You can see her name here on the screen here, Kohila Sivas. Yeah, this is her spelling. Okay, this is her ID on Facebook. From there, you can reach her on LinkedIn and the rest of her social media. Okay, now Kohila, now we are coming to something relaxing.
Okay, perfect.
Let's have fun a bit, out from a serious type of topic. Do you play sports? Okay, we actually call this, win the rocket round. It's just a rapid fire, win the day rocket round. Okay, this is not like a rapid fire where you have to only use one word. You can use short sentence if you need. You can also choose to use 1 or 2 words or very short sentence if you want. Okay, do you play sports?
I did before, now I don't, but
Okay, what was your favorite sport?
tennis.
Tennis. Wow, amazing. This is one thing I never tried. Tennis.
Badminton and tennis are my favorite.
Wow, wow. Good, good. Okay. Do you think students especially must take up tennis, and why you think they should?
They should. I never say anyone should do anything.
Yeah.
Should is a big word, but
Ah,
if I think all children should be part of some sports
yes.
that they like. They're
Exactly.
interested.
Fantastic answer. Exactly. Okay. When come to TV shows, series or whatever, what do you normally watch? Do you watch Netflix?
No,
No.
I don't watch TV. My
Ah.
husband's a TV producer, film producer, so a documentary film producer as well.
Wow.
I'm very selective how I spend my time, but I do like, if I do watch it, I do watch my husband's productions.
Oh, wow. So how can we watch that? Where can we watch?
He's on Netflix. He actually produces it, so he's been on a lot of the shows, like, National Geographic shows. And but if you
Oh,
ask me, I like nature. I love nature. Yeah,
yes, I
those are
saw that in your Facebook. I saw that in your
love
Facebook.
nature.
Wow, this is really breathtaking, you know,
Yeah, Vancouver is, everyone must visit Vancouver. I
beautiful
should be
place.
on the tourism board.
No, all I know is I learned in geography about Vancouver, what is the industries which is famous there, what is the climate, the landscape, and all that. Yeah, I think it's a beautiful country. Yes. Uh, a
I'm
lot of
sure my
people, yeah. What would you say if your student is addicted to TV series like Netflix and all that? There's a lot of things out there, but I myself don't watch because simply because I got too many things to watch, and yet I didn't watch. We are career people. We have work to do. We are more committed to our work rather than anything. So I don't really watch Netflix, but there are nice series I know. You see,
yeah.
but what
So
is the advice?
for parents dealing with addiction, a lot of the kids are watching way too much. I don't think they watch Netflix. They are watching what's on social media, right? It's social media, phone,
Yes,
right? It's what it is. So for that, it's about teaching our children to balance and boundaries.
great.
I have two words. I have a 16-year-old son myself. I have two words. I can't stop him. I can't take away his phone, because it
Uh-huh.
is part of the world he belongs to now.
Yes,
So how can I teach him to balance and set boundaries? That is the teaching we need to have with our kids, and a conversation as parents.
brilliant answer.
So we
Brilliant
take
answer.
it.
I admire your answers. It's really wonderful. Okay,
Thank you.
what is your hobby?
My hobby would be, I love reading. I'm a reader. Um, Other than that, I do decorate sometimes cake. This is a
Wow,
little hobby of mine. I
that
love
is
decorating.
interesting. So decorating alone, no baking.
I'm not, yeah, I like decorating, the last part. I
Decorating,
like to
yeah.
make it look good. I like to make
It's a
it look good,
skill.
yeah.
It is a skill, it's a skill. Not everyone can do. Everybody can bake a cake. We don't know how good it is, but to decorate, you got to be creative
Yeah,
with
that's
colors,
my
with whatever you want to. That's fantastic. Yes. Okay. Flowers. Which flower do you like the most? Because I see on your Facebook, sometimes you post flowers, a lot of flowers.
it's actually a hobby. I forgot to mention that during COVID, we couldn't go anywhere. So me and
Yes,
my husband will drive in our car, because we can't go anywhere, right? But you can drive in your own
yes,
car. No
yes,
one's going to
yes,
stop you.
yes.
So I would go out and take pictures of flowers during that time. It became this hobby. I actually have a Instagram page dedicated to flowers.
Oh, what is the name of the ID of the Instagram?
It's called Radiant Beauties.
Wow,
Radiant, yeah.
Radiant Beauties.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
So what I did during COVID is to keep my mind
Uh-huh.
away from the situation and just to feel relaxed. I started taking photos, and my husband said, they look so beautiful. Why don't you put them up on Facebook or YouTube somewhere?
Yeah.
And I said, okay, I'll create an Instagram. And I have, I think, over 700 pictures of flowers.
Oh,
I
then
love flowers.
I
I
must
love,
go and get myself
so you
portrait
can't
you.
make me, I won't choose a flower. I love them all. You know why I like them? Because there's math in it. There's symmetrical, there's angles, there's patterns. You get close with your camera, you can teach your kids so much about math in the petals of flowers, the number of petals. So I just got into that world during COVID. It actually happened during the COVID months.
Beautiful. Only you can see flowers in the angle of maths.
Yes.
See, so maths is not only externally you are teaching, it's from your soul.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
in your
Like,
soul already. It's your passion, it's in your
well,
soul.
it's in the trees, it's in the river. Math is everywhere. And that's what I mean by parents at a younger age.
Yeah,
Showing that beauty in the environment will create that setting for the child to want to learn math.
great. Yeah. I think that should be the way to teach children, not to burden them with worksheets, asking them to sit down and you do it. Like I can remember my dad when, sometimes when it's raining, I will run out and play in the rain, play in the mud, you know. My father comes back home because he doesn't work when it rains. So when he comes back home, he canes me and said, okay, you kneel down. It's a typical Indian family, right? You kneel down and tell your timetable.
Yes.
It worked before, but it won't
No.
work now. Yeah, it worked
Yeah, it
before
will work
in a
now.
way.
No, it does
Not
not
now.
work anymore.
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
Even then, it didn't work. It sort of worked because we were threatened.
Ah.
We were punished, right? It was against punishment. But I still remember my dad also putting me on knees and asking me 8 times 8 or 9 times 9. And I have no idea. Even though I knew it, when he asked me like that, I will forget it.
Yeah, because you're so
I'm
scared.
afraid. I'm
Yeah,
scared.
yes.
I don't care about 9 times 9. I just care about what are you going to do to me next?
Yes, yes. When I was 7, my dad made sure that I kneel down and tell my timetable till 12. But yes, I took it a bit, it was really burdening for me. But I think I needed that time because I was naughty. I was very playful. So my dad did the right thing to me, I think.
Yeah. But they won't work anymore.
Yeah,
The
now
generation now is not.
yes, now we know.
They need to have set boundaries and say this is your study time, like giving them options and structure, boundaries and balance. Like, I mean, that's what needs to happen now. It's a different world.
Yeah, different world, different values. If you see, like us, no matter whatever our parents did to us, we still love them. But now children see it differently. They see love differently, and so we parents have to adapt to the changes. Yeah, fantastic. Okay, what is your tips? Your great message for all the students and parents out there. If your child is weak in maths, what is your advice?
Yeah. Getting to the root cause of it, right? It's not labeling that my child is weak in math or they're horrible or bad. Those are labels. Now, if we label our own children, that's not our job, is to label them. Our job is to find out why those labels are coming up for them.
Yes.
So I am all about digging deeper and finding out why they're displaying those characteristics. And also finding within that, you can find the strength of a student. Within the weaknesses, you can find something of strength.
Yeah.
And amplifying that strength, you forget the weakness. And that's where my methodology stems from, is finding the root cause and then finding the strength. Every child has a superpower. Every child has strengths. But when we focus on weaknesses, we cannot find the strengths.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's my message.
Powerful message for every audience. Yeah. I truly believe that Kohila sharing today has blessed a lot of you, give you a lot of insight on how to nurture your children and how to incorporate maths into your children's life. So practice with purpose. This is what Kohila advocated. Yeah, you advocate on practice with purpose. Powerful. And nurturing children with balance and boundaries. Success is not about money alone and whatever. Success is about time and money and your passion towards your work. And all this together will give you success. That's all about successful living. Thank you, Kohila. It's really a wonderful session today. So glad to meet you here. Thank you so much. Dear audience, I believe you are very happy after hearing, especially those parents who have problem with children who are, we say, weak. They are not weak. They are weak because we did not expose them to the correct method. We did not teach them the right thing. We did not engage them with good teachers. That's the only thing, right, Kohila? Fantastic.
Great message.
Thank you, dear audience. Thank you for your precious time. We'll meet again next week. Most probably, we will invite Kohila again since she has a lot of things to share in future. So, till we meet again next Wednesday at the same time, 5 p.m. IST, with another prominent, eminent guest of mine. Thank you so much. Thank you, Kohila.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Bye. Thank you.